Hello and welcome to October's Flicks, the film and event magazine programme brought to you by Picturehouse Cinemas. Coming up, Elizabeth Olsen and Josh Radnor star in Liberal Arts, a coming-of-age 30-something comedy. An adaptation of Jack Kerouac's Beat Generation classic On the Road. Beasts of the Southern Wild, a 6-year-old narrates poverty and near orphanhood through a massive imagination and an extraordinary zest for life. 007 returns in Skyfall. Daniel Craig is Bond in the longest-running film franchise of all time. And finally, my roundup of special events and screenings happening this month in Flicks Picks. Liberal Arts, written, directed and starring Josh Radnor from TV's How I Met Your Mother, is a doing the right thing, coming-of-age romantic comedy.
Professor Peter Hoberg.
Now, I know Ohio is not as glamorous as New York, but they're throwing me a retirement dinner thing.
When is it?
Weekend of the 25th. You know, check your schedule.
Checking now. Looks like I have to shift some things around. I'll be there.
FYI, liberal arts is a US degree, kind of the equivalent to humanities. Lots of philosophising and whimsy, you know the deal. Radnor plays a 30-something postgrad returning to his alma mater to attend a retirement and ends up falling for a sophomore year, 19-year-old to us, student, played with just the right amount of zeal by a really likeable Elizabeth Olsen. Their connection through literature and music is undeniable, but is it enough? The wonderful Alison Janney steals the show as a deeply cynical romantics professor.
A liberal arts education solves all your problems.
Thank God.
Worth every penny. What is it with you girls and vampires? This is the worst book ever written in English.
On the Road stars Sam Riley, Control, Kristen Stewart, Twilight, and Garrett Hedlund, Tron Legacy.
Dynamite! Dynamite!
I first met Dean in New York. I was a young writer trying to take off.
The book is the Bible of the Beat generation, beat often being taken to mean the bebop music that defined the era, but it also meant, sadly, the beaten generation, the no-hopers. Both Kerouac and Neil Cassidy, whom the characters of the film are based on, died in their 40s from drugs and alcohol. The characters indeed burn, 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 as Kerouac describes. They are all beautiful, and their wild, hedonistic lifestyle of sex, booze, music and the road sounds and looks like freedom, but created a jail that in real life very few escaped.
It wasn't only because I was a writer and needed new experiences that I wanted to know Dean more. I shambled after as usual, as I have done my whole life after the people that interested me. Because the only people that interest me are the mad ones. The ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, desirous of everything at the same time, the ones that never yawn or say a commonplace thing, but burn, burn, burn like Roman candles across the night.
Beasts of the Southern Wild is a rare treat indeed. The darling of this year's Sundance Festival, a directorial debut for one Ben Zeitlin, and shot on a micro-budget with mostly non-actors.
This here is an aurochs, a fierce creature.
The storm's coming! The storm's coming!
Y'all better learn how to survive.
I'm your daddy, and it's my job to take care of you, okay?
This film is a testament to imagination, vision and storytelling. Narrated by the indefatigable Hush Puppy, a 6-year-old with no mother and an alcoholic father living in poverty in the Mississippi Delta, forever in the shadow of natural disaster. You would be forgiven for thinking this might be a little bleak. Kevin Jarnay Wallace's performance as Hush Puppy, however, has been universally acclaimed as nothing short of perfection. As in To Kill a Mockingbird, you see the adult world almost more clearly through its incidental mentions from this tiny genius, completely at one with her life.
You're gonna be the key in a bad time. I promise that.
In a million years, when kids go to school, they're gonna know. Once there was a hush puppy, and she lived with her daddy in the bathtub.
Who the man?
Skyfall is the 23rd outing for Ian Fleming's James Bond and Daniel Craig's third as Britain's favourite spy, not including, of course, his Olympic opening spot.
3 months ago, you lost the drive containing the identity of every agent embedded in terrorist organisations across the globe.
I made a judgment call. There isn't much road left. Take the bloody shot.
Skyfall also stars the inimitable Judi Dench as M and introduces the sweetheart Ben Whishaw, bright star, as Q. Albert Finney and Ralph Fiennes lend the film gravitas, and Javier Bardem makes sure the villain is properly uber bad. This time it's M's past that comes back to haunt her, and Bond faces the hardest test of his loyalty in his career. Sam Mendes directs.
She sent you after me knowing you're not ready, knowing you would likely die. Mommy was very bad. The two survivors. This is what she made us.
Everybody needs a hobby.
So what's yours?
Resurrection.
Flix Picks, special screenings and events not to be missed, in my ever so humble opinion, throughout October. Our popular Discover Tuesday strand goes from strength to strength, showing the all too often ignored best of world cinema. October sees The Queen of Versailles, Lauren Greenfield's Riches to Rags documentary about a wealthy American family who find the 2008 economic crisis disrupting their ever so grand lifestyle. The Bird is French filmmaker Yves Camon's delicate and sad study of loneliness and grief. Anne finds herself disturbed by an ornithological house guest. About Ellie was voted the 4th best Iranian film of all time in its native country and won the Silver Bear for Best Director at the Berlin Film Festival. The plot is simple: a group of middle-class friends visit the seaside. Yet it is the perfect setup, enabling director Asghar Farhadi to ask difficult, unusual moral questions about truth and deception. Finally, Taboo is Portuguese film critic turned director Miguel Gomez, rich, funny and poignant two-part study of a self-centred woman named Aurora. On Thursday the 11th of October at 7 p.m, National Theatre Live presents Last of the Housemans. Julie Walters, Rory Kinnear and Helen McCrory star in Stephen Beresford's much-anticipated new play, a funny, touching and sometimes savage portrait of a family that's losing its grip. Don't miss the chance to experience a very special screening of Led Zeppelin in concert at the O2 Arena. Only 18,000 lucky people were able to see this tribute concert for Atlantic Records founder Ahmet Ertegun in 2007. And now for the first time, fans worldwide will be able to get a front row seat to experience this historic event in glorious high definition and incredible surround sound. This October sees the launch of the 2012-2013 season of the New York Met. It begins in style on Saturday the 13th with the lively and charming L'Élysée d'Amour. Anna Netrebko and Matthew Polenzani star in one of the greatest comic gems in opera as the fickle Adina and her besotted Nemorino. October also sees the launch of the Royal Opera House Live 2012-2013 season. It kicks off with Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake on the 23rd, one of the most famous of all ballets, haunting, dramatic and sumptuous, without question a true gem in the Royal Ballet's repertoire. That's it for a bumper-packed October. Make sure you keep up to date as usual at our website, Facebook page and Twitter feed. Pick up our free magazine, Picturehouse Recommends, in your local Picturehouse foyer for in-depth information and interviews. Thank you for watching and see you again in November.